Today we're going to cover converting a 2-node vSAN cluster to a 3-node vSAN cluster. Now we introduced witness traffic separation in vSAN 6.2, actually introduced it in vSAN 6.5, but made it available in vSAN 6.2. And we do have VMK0 on hosts 111 and 112 configured for witness traffic. The vSAN network and the vMotion network are actually connected to a switch in this configuration to make it very easy to facilitate adding host 113 and converting this to a 3-node cluster. Now we'll get started by removing the disk group from witness 2. Under disk management and configure, we will go to the disk group and we will remove the disk group. Now the purpose of removing the disk group is really to give us the opportunity to be able to reuse this vSAN witness appliance. So it's really not necessary, but we will do this because, or I will do this because I'm going to reuse this witness at a later time. All right, so we've removed the disk group. And now we need to go to fault domains, which is where we configure witnesses to be used with either a 2-node or a stretched cluster configuration. We really only need to choose disable. And what this will do is this will essentially remove witness2.demo.local from our remote 2 cluster. All right, now that is done, we'll see that we still have the residual fault domains preferred and secondary. They don't have any particular preferred designation to them. But before we get started with cleaning those up, let's move over to PowerCLI, where we will go and essentially unconfigure witness traffic separation or unconfigure the witness tagging, if you will, on hosts 111 and 112. All right, so we've already connected to the vSphere cluster using Connect VI Server, and what we're going to do here is we're going to go and get the cluster by the name of Remote 2. We're going to pipe that into a list of getting all the VM hosts. Then what we'll do is we'll go and we'll invoke the EsxCli commandlet. And basically what we're going to do is very easily just enumerate all the hosts in the cluster. Interface name. And we had configured it with VMK0, and we're basically saying remove these. All right, this way we can dispense with having to go to SSH or getting into the command console and whatnot. All right, so we've now basically disassociated witness traffic separation or witness tagging, if you will, on the management interface on hosts 111 and 112. What we'll do here is we'll go into the fault domains and we'll clear these guys up, and because we really don't need them if we're using only 3 nodes. Okay. Now, right now we have a 2-node vSAN cluster that obviously has a red error, and the reason being is because our components do not have a mirrored compliance. In other words, we don't have 2 full copies and a witness copy. Okay, but before we add this third host in 113, let's go and let's configure the networking on 113. Let's go over to 113 and we'll add networking. We'll go ahead and add a VM kernel adapter for our vSAN network, but we're on a DV switch, so we'll go and configure that. And we need to choose vSAN traffic. And we'll set a static IP of 192.168.155.113. And then we'll go and we'll set our net mask or subnet mask. And we've configured our vSAN interface. Now let's go and configure our vMotion interface. We'll put that on the vMotion port group. Select vMotion, next, and we'll choose 192.168.156.113, and again 255, 255, 255.0. Okay, this will take just a moment. Now, one of the new additions in vSphere 6.7 Update 1 is the Cluster Quickstart. And what we'll do is we'll use the Cluster Quickstart to add this third host into our 2-node cluster. So we'll go to Quickstart. And we see that we've got two hosts, right? Host 113 is over here outside of the cluster. Let's go and let's add it. I really, really like this Cluster Quickstart. We don't have to necessarily add a new host because it's already been added. So we'll go to existing hosts. Then we'll select that particular host, 113. We'll choose next and next again and finish. And this will take a minute for this host to be added. All right, we do see that we do have one host is not currently configured. Now keep in mind that we already performed the installation of the VM kernel interface for vMotion traffic as well as vSAN traffic on VMK2 for vMotion and VMK1 for vSAN traffic, but we have not added the disks from host 113 yet. So let's go to configure. And notice we've got our, our small cache tier device. Then we've got a couple capacity tiers. Let's go and let's add those. Now, when those are added with the Cluster Quickstart, what will happen is it will take that host out of maintenance mode. And it's going to take a minute. All right, host has been taken out of maintenance mode. It's still in the process of configuring, but we notice that we do have a data and performance service error. And the reason that we have that particular error is because the witness component that used to reside on witness 2 was essentially discarded when witness 2 was taken out of the cluster. And now we've got to go and we've got to basically repair those vSAN objects. To do that, we'll go to Monitor. Then from Monitor, we'll go to Health. We see vSAN object health is one of the first and foremost things on our vSAN health check. So if we click that, we'll see that we've got repair objects immediately, silence alert, whatnot. We don't have a whole lot on this very small cluster. We've just got 2 VMs, but we can very easily just repair objects immediately. What this will do is basically invoke a rebuild of the objects. And through a little bit of movie magic, it happened lickety split, right, as far as that goes. That being said, we now have a fully configured 3-node cluster that just a few minutes ago was a 2-node vSAN cluster. If you have any more questions about 2-node vSAN or any other aspects of vSAN, check out storagehub.vmware.com or also virtualblocks.com.